Okay, Sarah Nicklin. I'm so excited to talk to you because you're just like you're kind of you're becoming a horror staple. I feel like you've been in
Oh,
so much stuff, especially recently. I know we're here to talk about VHS Halloween and your incredible role in it, but I really first want to know like why horror? What about horror attracted you at first as both a fan and then as an actor, and why do you keep being part of it?
they're the best people. I love horror. Um, so
Yeah.
when I first started acting, I didn't like necessarily set out to work in horror. I just
Okay.
wanted to work. And so I started working with, I did a short film and I met an actor, William DeCoff, who would referred me to Richard Griffin, who was a filmmaker in New England. Did a whole bunch of like horror films back when, straight to DVD market you could actually make money on. And so his films, actually got distributed. And we really liked working together and he kept working with me. So I did like 13 features with him before I moved out to LA.
That's crazy.
And like that's how I got started in horror because like people knew me because of his films. And it's
Cool.
such like a loyal, awesome genre with such a great community that because of that, then other horror fans watch his film and they're like, "Oh, I would now want to put you in my horror film." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's kind of how it all got started,
Cool. I
honestly.
love that.
But I
Were you
really love
okay, sorry.
I now like I really love horror. I mean I obviously work on other things outside of the genre too, but whenever I'm on those sets, I feel like I can't really relate to people in the same way, you know? Like they're like ew, blood, gross. And I'm like, "No, that's the most
It's
fun."
the best part. Well, there's just such a sense of joy on horror sets that I feel like,
Yes.
I mean, I haven't been on other sets, I've only really been on horror sets, but there is such a sense of joy on them. Like,
Yeah,
we're doing something really fucked up and it's real fun and we love it. It's so
exactly.
funny.
And I feel like, I mean, that's the thing, like horror sets are the most fun sets to be on because you're saving all of the like gross stuff to be on camera. So the mood offset is, or like behind the camera is like, oh my God, this is so fun and ridiculous.
Yes.
Like the gorier, the better. Whereas like comedies, it's kind of the opposite. You're saving all the jokes on camera. So like off camera, it's like more chill, you know? So
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's so interesting. Huh. Weird. But you have an incredible role in the segment Home Haunt, which is the final segment of VHS Halloween.
yes.
Tell me how you got involved. I know that Micheline and you are both in LA, and how did you get lucky enough to be cast in this incredible way to end the VHS Halloween
I
film?
know. I'm so stoked for it. I'm so stoked about
It
it.
is
um,
fucking cool. It's so cool. Like I
it's
mean,
yeah.
we won't spoil anything or try not to, but it is so cool.
Um, so I've known Micheline and RH for a long time. We've been friends for a while, and I'm definitely fans of them and fans of their work. They did a short film Grummy a couple years ago that is like
So
incredible. So I've been really wanting to work with them, and they have a couple things like in the works, in process. But then they got this opportunity to do VHS Halloween, and with the concept that they pitched, there was the role for a mom, and they were like, "Well, Sarah, we think like you could, maybe do this role." And they're like, "We want you for this." And I was like, "Yes, of course, I would love to be part of this." But even with that, I was nervous because a lot of people say they want to, put you in something and then they don't, or they don't have as much power as they thought they would, or, there's a lot of things that happen.
yeah.
But they actually like told casting, we want Sarah for this role, and the producers, went along with it. The casting director went along with it. So like there was no pushback, and it just says everything about them as people, as just like amazing human beings, and also the production team of VHS and how they trust their directors to really do what they want. So
I love that though, because I feel like it is so hard to get that trust. And it sounds like with
yeah,
VHS, like Josh and that whole team is like really does trust their directors, which is such a refreshing thing. And you would hope that they would, but it's so
yeah,
nice that, oh,
that
that's
they like
incredible.
actually did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you have an incredible, you play a mom character. Have you ever been in a found footage movie before, actually?
I was in one other like 12 years ago,
Okay.
like long time ago.
Wait. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So how is this experience any different in effect because it's found footage? Like, did it feel any different than like a traditional film in terms of like that experience of just filming? Like how did that work for you or how did that feel as an actor? Just that different kind of format.
Yeah, it feels for me almost more like doing a play than like doing a film.
Oh, okay.
You know, because like, and that's my background. You know, I grew up doing theater, and I went to Emerson, and I got a degree in theater. So like, that's
Oh,
where my roots
sick. Oh,
are.
okay, cool. That's so cool. All right. So you're like, all right, this I got this.
I'm like, yes, let's do this. Let's do it. I mean, because like just the nature of found footage with, you know, the camera moving around so much, even if when you plan out, okay, we're going to go here, 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 we want to catch this, this, and this, you never know if the camera's going to swing and catch you in the corner. You know, it's not like a more traditional.
Yeah. There's not like coverage and you're like, okay, I'm not on the camera. Like it is more
Exactly.
like, who knows? Maybe I'm
Who knows?
there.
Yeah, yeah. So like with other like with the more traditional like, you know, filming setup, you can kind of, if you know that you're not on camera, you can like reserve yourself a little bit, you know, put it at like
Oh yeah.
70%, you know, so you're still giving the actor what they need, but you're saving yourself for when you are on camera. And so there's none of that in this. You got to be 100% all the time because you never know like where the camera's going to go. And also it's a lot of just like creating those like little moments and like real relationships because it is supposed to be real, you
Yeah.
know, and a
I
little
was
just
gonna
like improv, throwing things in there like that, you know, that sort of stuff.
What I was gonna actually ask about that because it's framed at the very beginning as like this home video, and you're the mom. Like there's a father and son, and then you're the mom that's kind of like the mediator between the two of them as they get older. And your role at first, it just seems like, oh, you're the mom, but then you get to really transform into like, oh, she's mother, like that kind of, which I love. And that's got to be really fun for you as an actor, even in such a short period of time to get to experience that kind of character growth or like that arc is so
Yeah,
cool for you to get to do in such a short period of time. And that must be really fulfilling. I know it's not really a question, but like fulfilling for you as an actor to get to play in
totally.
that space so quickly. That's so
And I think
cool.
like I think it was really interesting. So like when they first told me about this role, Micheline was like, think the mom from Gremlins. She was like, that's
Oh,
like
okay. Perfect. That's such a
I was
good
like,
comparison.
got it. I can do that. But it was really cool because like I feel like in a lot of films, especially a lot of horror films, you have, you know, the final girl who's like, you know, the badass that's kicking ass the whole time. Or you have like the mom that's like, you know, nurturing, peacekeeping, but we rarely see them combined, you know? So it's
Mom
kind of
Final Girls, baby.
yes, yes, exactly. So, you
Dressed
know,
in
the
really cool Halloween costumes.
oh my God, yes. Exactly. That would be awesome.
That would be so, but it is true. Like you get to get this really cool role that we don't really see for like mom characters. It's so, like you said, it's
Yeah.
always one role. So it's just really awesome to see
Yeah.
that. And you're also getting to be on such incredible practical sets. And I wanted to
Oh
hear
my
a little
God.
bit about that because I talked to Micheline and RH about how much they did to design, but then for you to get to play in that space, I
Yeah.
just wanted to hear more about that experience for you and working in that because there's just so cool.
It's so cool. And like I don't think if people even can fully understand how cool it was in watching it cuz you're moving. It goes by real fast. You don't have time to sit and just like look at the beauty
It looks
of
like
it.
it looks like a theme park. It looks like they built like a horror, like not just a haunted house, but like a whole like section of a theme park in someone's
Yeah,
backyard. It's crazy how cool
it's
it looks just at the brief time
absolutely
you
nuts.
see it.
Yeah, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And so like when I first went, I mean, obviously I had seen Grummy, so I know like their level of like taste and aesthetic that they bring into everything. And then stepping into this and like being in that world and being surrounded by this like fantastical, whimsical like set was incredible. I like literally had a moment when we were in the witch's bog, like between takes, and I'm like, this is it. Like this is the dream. This is like, you know, when you're like a kid and you're like, I want to work on fantasy films and I like horror films and I want like really big cool sets and I want like a fun cool role and I want to work with people that I really respect and like. And I'm like, this is everything. This is all of those things. Like it's checking all the boxes. And I was like, okay, you know, just like take this in, enjoy this because it was really just amazing. Just
Wait,
so
that's so
amazing.
cool. And especially like I know you've been in the industry for a while and just to like have those moments in an industry that is so can really chew you up and spit you out. I feel like it's
Yeah.
just so fulfilling as a creative to get to be like, I'm making art with cool people right now, and
Yeah.
I'm really happy about it. And then it seems like the reactions are even further validating like
Yeah.
that, right? Because
People,
it just played at Beyond Fest, correct?
yeah. So Fantastic Fest and then Beyond Fest. And I think honestly, I think the Beyond Fest screening, because it was just like one theater and it was packed with people that worked on the film, that the reactions were even bigger
That's
than
so cool. Because you guys filmed in LA, so it would make sense that, right? Because you filmed in LA
yeah, so for our segment was done
for
in
your segment.
LA.
Yeah.
I think Coochie Coo was also done in LA. I don't know if there was maybe one other
Okay,
that
but that
also
it made sense that your whole like your cast and crew would be there to get to cheer
yeah,
on that, especially that segment. And like that's such a good way to end the film for when
it
everyone
really
sees
is.
it. Is like a good note to end on. It's
It
so incredible.
it's such a fun send off. You're like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to kickstart the Halloween season. You know,
I
let's
know,
do
but
it.
I finished watching it. I'm like, well, now I really want to go trick or treating. Like, I'm in my 30s, but I still want to go trick or treating. Like, I need to go right now. I want it to be Halloween forever. It really does
Yeah,
capture that spirit so well. And like
never
your
too old.
segment, never
Never
too
too old to
old,
no,
never too
go
old.
trick or treating.
What
Not at
was it
all.
like watching all the other segments at Fantastic Fest? That must have been like, because I'm assuming you really only knew Home Hunt, and then you get to see all the rest of the madness around it. That must have been a really cool experience too in the theater.
It was really cool. So I did know a little bit about one of the other segments just because I had actually auditioned for it and booked a role in it before I realized that it was VHS. Because initially in the breakdown for that, it had just said the name of the segment. And so I was just like, oh, this seems like a cool like horror thing. So I auditioned for it, and then when I got the offer, then I realized it was VHS. And so
VHS
Micheline,
Sarah Nicklin, and you are
like
the unite.
just exactly put me in all of them.
Like that's so
And
funny.
so I at least knew like what that one was about,
Okay.
because I had gotten that one, and
It's so funny though. You're like, oh wait, I don't know if I can. Can I? I don't think I can do
yeah,
that too.
like can I do two? I don't think I can, and that would be weird. And obviously, I really wanted to play Nancy, and I really wanted to work with Micheline and RH, and also because the way they did it, so they did each one like in order, and they're like each their own separate feature film. So the other one that I booked shot earlier, so I had to turn that down without having any guarantee or official offer for Nancy for later. So I was
Oh,
just
that's crazy. Oh, wow.
hopefully it's gonna come through. But yeah,
But it's
watching
it.
what
But it's it. So that's
but
great.
it did, it worked out. um but I loved watching all the other segments. I mean, I did the other one that I had already like known about. I thought was really cool. I thought they pulled it off really well. It's one of
Oh
my other
yeah.
favorites in there. But I think that there was such a good mix of like tones and like just such a like creative ideas
Hell
that were
yeah.
put in there, and it's really been really interesting to see the reactions that people have had, because some
Yeah.
people are like, I really love that one, or I really hate that one, or and everyone's different, which to me means that the
I
producers are
know.
doing their job because they're doing something that's going to appeal to a whole bunch of different horror fans.
It's kind of crazy how well they're able to do that. I'm always so
Yeah,
surprised how well this series is able to do that and surprise me every year, even though I've seen all of them and I love them all. I mean, I'm biased because I love found footage, but still.
me too.
Well,
So
Sarah.
this
Oh, yeah, sorry.
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
Oh, yeah,
No, no, you keep going.
so this morning I read a review of IndieWire that was like
Oh,
calling out so yeah, calling out Kid Print as like their favorite because it was like the darkest. And like a lot of people that I've talked to, some of them are like, "Woof, that was a lot. That was too much. I don't know if I like that one." So it's like it's really interesting to see that like the personal reaction from people I've
yeah.
talked to that are like, "Oh, I don't know," because it is really disturbing. Like he did a fantastic job,
Yeah.
really disturbing. But then you have like IndieWire being like, "No, that's the best one." So like, yeah, you
That's
never know.
it is so cool. And like it's cool to just like see people's reactions and just be part of that. I mean, it's cool to be part of like a yearly horror thing. It's just
Hmm.
you're such a big part of the genre in the first place, and then to have it being VHS, it's got to be and it's validating just like as your
Very much
presence
so.
and in the genre.
I know. That's what it's like. I feel like I mean, I've been around the block for a little bit. I've been here for a while, doing this for a while, and to like finally be able to be involved in something that has more already existing recognition than most of the
Yeah.
indie horror stuff that I do. You're just hoping people are going to watch it. You're hoping that someone's going to pick it up. But this is like already standing IP, and I'm like, ah, like a little breath of fresh air,
Yeah,
like so
no, but
nice,
for real,
you
because I
know?
know like you're in so much cool indie stuff, but I also understand that like indie stuff is like great, but it's nice to get them more like okay, cool, I'm elevating myself to like the next level, and that's like that's great for you, and I love that Micheline and RH are such great friends like that. That's just
Yeah,
so nice.
no, it's
Uh,
it's literally thanks to them. So I'm so grateful to them for for making that happen for me.
this movie, I feel like these movies always make VHS always make me feel like this is the creative inspiration I need. Like these movies and just like that attitude of like we're just gonna make something fucking weird and see what happens.
Yeah,
Like it is so creatively inspiring, even though it's like an existing IP. It is so cool that that exists still. You know,
yeah.
it's nice.
And that, I mean, and everyone's given like the same resources, the same budget. A lot of the like
Yes. Oh, thank God. I
production.
mean, thank God for that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's also, I think it's really cool to see like what people do with the like the sandbox that they're given.
It's so
You know,
cool.
like
It's
the
wild,
create.
and they're also different. It's always so cool to
Yeah,
me. And like, I don't know, and like the character you get to play in yours is so different than anything we've seen before. And even though this has been going on for a while, it's cool to still see characters like Nancy appear and be surprising. So I love
yeah.
that.
And just be
Cool.
very like nostalgic. I mean, like in period, we have like 70s
I
and
know
80s
your
and
hair. Okay, hold on real quick. Wig
yeah,
or like did they really like fuck your hair up?
it was a wig.
Okay, cool. I thought so because it was curly, but I was like, you never.
I'm glad you had to ask though. That means, it was a good wig.
I was like, oh, is that her natural? I was like, is her hair that curly? Or did they have to just plop a big, nice 90s wig or 90s, 80s wig on there?
Yeah, very nice
Incredible.
wig. And that was something that Micheline actually sourced. So she found that wig because she was very specific in like the look that she
She's
wanted.
that's so cool. And I love that you're bride and you're the bride of Frankenstein at the end with your
Yeah,
I'm like
which is
that is just
one of my favorite, like the Frankenstein's monster and Bride of Frankenstein. That's like one of my favorite Universal storylines. It's just so like
and
touching
you
and
get to play
specific.
well, you get to play her, but you also get to play her with more agency, which is so cool. You get to like give her legacy and have even and be a badass while dressed as her and continue that cool legacy. That's so
Exactly.
cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, loved
It,
it.
That's so cool. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Of course.
You are so cool in the horror genre, and it's cool to see you. And I was like, that's Sarah. I know
That's
her on
it.
screen, so it's just cool to see
Yeah.
you being a badass, like getting to being a badass. So
I know, I
thanks for
loved it. It
chatting with
was
me.
like everything I've ever wanted, like I said.